right. Awesome. Cool. And it looks like we are live. Awesome. Doing a little quick technical checkup, guys, real quick. Make sure we're all good. Always got to double check, make sure OBS isn't switching anything on us. We did have a couple driver updates, but it does look like we are all good to go. Awesome, guys. Welcome back to MTVTA. I'm your guys' host, Trent Manager. For all my returning patrons, welcome back. All my new patrons, of course, and new viewers, welcome. Glad to have you guys here, and I hope the week is going well. Another great week. It's Tuesday. We got a little bit of switch to the schedule. I apologize for the past 2 weeks. Getting some new projects and some new trainings going on here, for work, and lots of things going on, a lot of different moving pieces. So just trying to really, figure out, how things work. And I appreciate you guys being so flexible. I'm always going to do 110% to squeeze the live streams in on Tuesday. I think we've only had like 2 cancellation dates this year, the entire Patreon, which is cool, but we've moved them to days. So whether it be just replacing the videos with writings or articles or readings, something to input that day, but we rarely do have those days. So just kind of want to get those out of the way. But awesome, guys. So just kind of do some quick housekeeping, and let's kind of get to it. Quick over here into Grammarly, kind of what we're going to be covering today. So I actually found this very, very interesting. 14 and 9-year-old earning over $30K a month crypto mining. We're also going to go over that to what they are mining and the profitability of different coins that are still possible. That Bitcoin's kind of really oversaturated. We know with the algorithms getting harder, it becomes less profitable, so we can dive deeper into that if needed. Any questions, of course, you guys can ask away. L2s, we're going to go into layer 2 scaling solutions with Ethereum. I'm going to be talking about that as well, along with the Ethereum scaling solution for Arbitrum. Launches on Mainnet, raised about $120 million in new funding. We'll go over Genesis digital assets to buy up to $200,000 or 200,000 Bitcoin miners, any largest mining sale ever. I imagine a lot of those are ASICs miners, but I could be wrong, so we're going to get into that. And also, we're going to look at China and their banks for looking into using their digital yuan and funds in the insurance sector. So China is off to the races, getting their digital yuan into the bag. And awesome, guys, for Patreon members, make sure you guys stay up to date every other day. That's just what I like to say. I know you guys get emails and alerts when I do post things, but we are 1 patron away actually from reaching our 10 goal. That was kind of the goal I set at the beginning, just something light. Double digits would be cool. So we've been waiting on it for a little while. So I'm hoping 1 more person jumps in, and that'd be a really awesome milestone to have before Halloween. So maybe we could push that, but no worries if not. We'll continue to do what we're doing. So awesome. That is it for our housekeeping. Let's get into the meat of things and see what is going on. So Ethereum scaling solution Arbitrum launches mainnet and raises $120 million in new funding. We're gonna have a tweet following up with this and to show really the importance of this. And we kind of did fall off with Ethereum in terms of keeping up to date with all the small developer backend details. I don't like to bore you guys too much with that, but I know that's kind of been a re-message to me about you guys being interested in this type of stuff. So we will continue to cover it as long as it is interesting and it comes of value to you guys. The last thing I want to do is provide things that you guys don't care about, even if I do find them important, because everyone's goals are not on the same line. So really getting back into the article, we talked about Arbitrum and the layer 2 solutions. We talk about the Ethereum scaling solutions, cheaper gas fees along the way, a lot more blocks to be solved in terms of the processing power, and overall just really getting the scalability a lot more up to par with the network load. So we've noticed gas fees have been out of the crazy high. We've noticed just the network being clogged. I sent a transaction the other day, ended up getting stuck. I had to send $25 more just to push it through. But of course, it is what it is. It's not a make or break. But the cool thing is it shows that the network is getting used, and that's the most important thing, especially when it comes into the 1559 update and in terms of burning. And we're seeing the network being utilized at a high load, and that's always really what you want to see. You would be worried if gas fees were not relatively high, just for the fact that means people aren't using the network, and that's what we need to have to push this catalyst further. So really getting the difference of optimism, and we've talked about ZK rollups and so on, and it really goes to against of double spend attacks and other things of node operators. I don't know if we covered if you guys had saw the reading. I did a small post about it, about the bug that was implemented about August 25th. Core devs have known about it, but the node operation software Geth, the most popular software operation for nodes on Ethereum, ended up having a split. So a lot of nodes did not update correctly with the 1559 merge, causing a lot of issues in terms of possible double spend attacks and other issues that could really defeat the purpose of Ethereum's overall network compatibility. So with that being said, it's something to be scared about. Of course, we're gonna have growing pains with this innovation. It's like I say, not often enough, but it's like landing a rocket on the moon. This is the first time a lot of us individuals are doing this, including myself. So it definitely is gonna take some time in terms of innovation to be 100%. No surprises like this, but I wouldn't even really call it a surprise because it was not a big deal, and also it was something that we have known about, and it wasn't really out of thin air. It just kind of had brought to light with a lot of other individuals, and most people really don't care about this type of stuff in terms of the development side, because they only care if the product works, and that goes for a lot of individual things, not just cryptocurrency. So long story short, let's really wrap this up here. We're seeing $120 million in funding come into this Arbitrum scaling solutions. We're seeing the network usage become higher. We're seeing Ethereum getting burned faster, and we're going to be looking at charts and some other videos to broaden this case. So really where we're looking right now, Ethereum's looking very, very prime and key, not only for institutional adoption continuing, but also retail and in terms moving forward, possibly to be the number one cryptocurrency in the world at some point. So which is really, really crazy. So awesome. We're going to go over to Twitter real quick and cover the layer 2 video implementation. This was by lidocian.eth. He kind of goes in here and shows us the productivity of how Hot Protocol is using withdrawals from USDC for layer 2s and optimism. So showing you can really take out that gap in terms of transfer. So I'm going to play the video and you guys can kind of see a little bit what I'm talking about. I don't know if the quality is really all that good. I might have to. We might have to. Let's see. Let's give it a try. Oh my gosh, so sorry. Good lord. It's just music. Yeah. Oh my gosh, why is this quality so bad? Hold on. Let's try this again. Oh my goodness, this quality is so bad. Okay, let's try this again. We might just not have to full screen it. So let's just zoom in. Let's do this. So we have our address, copy receive address. I'm just gonna not say anything so you guys can watch. Yep, connect your MetaMask wallet. It's only the third time I'm seeing this, so this is. There you go. So yeah, I'll play it again in the background, and I'll talk over it just to kind of make some claims here. So what he's doing is that usually if you send cryptocurrency or have any experience with this, which most of you guys probably do, but for all our new people, this is something that we can definitely break down. So what we see here, the same process that we usually go through. The gas fee is taken out. We implement your address. You confirm through MetaMask. I know a lot of people don't really use MetaMask or don't really know what that is, but if that's something you really want to learn, it's very easy. It's just an extension browser for Brave browser for sending cryptocurrencies, receiving. It's a phenomenal wallet. MetaMask is awesome, but really what it does as it continues to play is that it just, number one, scaling solutions, so quicker, faster, and more effective transactions. The gas fee was about $15 there, but cheaper gas fees and overall scalability is intact. ZK rollups kind of play a back-end role in terms of not needing to, as you notice here where he goes, send USDC to Optimism Coinbase. So he copies his address here, he pastes that in there. So instead of going from Coinbase to MetaMask to another extension, you could go from MetaMask to just, basically just in simpler terms of really what I'm trying to get out is that we are eliminating the need for congestion, and also we are doing a lot more intensive smart contracts on the back end to ensure that it's as best as it could be. You know how DEXs go and find, decentralized exchanges will go and find and compare the best overall swap for you. Really just compare that into the same thing that we're going to be here. Just making it more user-friendly and just a lot better and more worth your money in a while. So that's really the simplest terms I can give it. I don't want to get too crazy in the technicals because it's just not going to make sense. But that is really the simplest way I can do it. I love how the quality just gets better. Oh my gosh, I love how the quality just gets better, like right as the video's played for the fourth time. So, but anyway, that is that's something to look out for, and we'll be covering that more as much as we can here. If that's something you guys want to continue covering and keep up to date, I'm gonna keep posting it, but I know that's not everyone's cup of tea because it is what it is. It can be very confusing. But going into the next article, CNBC, I thought this was awesome. These 14 and 9-year-old siblings earn over $30K a month in mining cryptocurrency. So I read the article. It's a bit lengthy, but they're based in Texas. So they've been crypto mining. They're young. This is kind of the Gen Z type millennial thing. The younger you get, the more kids are the technology is just overwhelming. I completely get it. Like, I was born in 1999, but I mean, I still spend so much time on the computer. I spent more time on the computer than I did outside. And there are still amazing skills, of course, that you guys know that you can do from the computer. This is our whole age in terms of we continue to move forward. So I'm not sure if they exactly say what they were mining, but I believe they were mining some Ethereum. I know there were some other small altcoins in here. I'm not sure if they exactly list the coins on here. You guys know how CNBC is. When they definitely get details of cryptocurrency, they like to really reword things and say things in a different light to either make you think or make you kind of double check your outcome for what you think is going to happen, and they just give you like a second guesser, like roundhouse punch sometimes. But in terms of what they were doing, it looks like mostly they were doing Ethereum. We can process a little bit over 10 billion Ethereum algorithms per second. They go even deeper into the quotes. We liked it so much that we started to add processings or chips and made $1,000 our first month. So basically just upgrading their hardware. We've talked about proof of work plenty of times of how this works, algorithms, GPUs, sending them to solve complex math problems, securing the blockchain, and that's how you get a reward in simpler terms. I feel like I explain it every time, and I just need to get out of the habit of explaining it every time, because there are plenty of other videos that people can go back and watch just for the sake of time. But also, it really does look like they were just, from what we see in the article, I didn't see any other cryptocurrencies that they were mining, so it seems like Ethereum was their best main bet. So, RTX 3080 Ti for any of my other graphics card nerds and other technical guys out there. You guys know 30 Ti is pretty expensive, but overall amazing cards, some of the best cards in the world right now. So in terms of without going the ASICs route, the whole big mining unit, the metal tin, just going the basic GPU route is the best bet for a lot of these guys. And it sounds like this kid already had about a pretty solid gaming rig, and his sister kind of just joined it on the side. So, and I would also imagine this was before a lot of the hype and hash rate and so on. But of course, I don't know, but it looks like they have a pretty big machine back there. I mean, that's a couple machines, so I can see exactly how they're producing 30K a month. So anyway, long story short, this is beyond impressive. This is exactly what we like to see, and not only pushes myself to do better, but as well to find as much passive income streams and other ways to make money as you can. I mean, 30K a month, guys, like that's crazy. That's ridiculous. So these kids are awesome. Props to you guys. You guys are doing amazing things. That's awesome. So we're gonna move on to our next article quickly here. We're gonna go over the Genesis Digital assets to buy up over 200K Bitcoin miners in the largest mining sale ever. So we know about Genesis Digital. We've talked about them a couple times. They play a huge role, not only in the corporate space, but in terms of the enterprises and getting a lot of these bigger guys, more comfortable. And, as crazy as it is, we still have education is our biggest barrier to entry. So it's important that, if you're talking to individuals, whether it be your boss, your mom, siblings, friends, that you be patient with them. This is not something easy that just kind of rolls over. You just roll over out of bed and you just get. Some people you do. It really depends on your optimism and your perspective view of how you view new things. Me, I'm always I'm very open about new things, whether that be not only just with finance, but really anything, any sort of technology or any sort of things that people are innovating to make easier. So people take gambles for a lot of things to bet on the future that is going to be helpful for them. So Genesis Digital Assets is already one of the largest Bitcoin mining companies in the world. They bought over 300K of miners online since 2013. I did not know that, actually. The firm's data center had mining capacity over 170 megawatts, which is a total hash rate of 3.1 ETH. Estimated hash rate, which is over 2.4 of the global Bitcoin mining hash rate. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good chunk of what's going on. So if this says something, what I take from this and what I read from this, even because it was just short, it wasn't very long. What I take from this is that they're doubling down. That's really, and this is what we talk about in terms of following the money and following the actions. This is exactly what, at least I guess, what we talk about. But I talk about it a lot, saying that words are hollow, and people, this is one thing also is that, people are like, oh, the news doesn't really change, the outcome of the markets, it doesn't matter. But just like we have read in all the articles we've processed, there are plenty of takeaways that you can have from a lot of these, like just from the mining rig, those smaller individuals and those kids, that's something that you can take away from that and be like, hey, how did they do that? How did they get into that? Same with this, we're following the money, we're seeing exactly what they're saying. It's in hard print what they've done, and that's exactly what we're following. So that is good implementation and a good idea to us that they're doubling down. They are in this for the long haul, like we've been talking about, and this is something that is probably a good thing to bet on for the short, medium, and long term. So
Genesis Digital is crazy. They are buying a ton, and this is just something that kind of just broadens our case for moving forward in terms of stacking on Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency assets that are going to continue to gain adoption. So great to see. It seems like we're getting a lot of solid news today. We've kind of been in a bit of consolidation range, and we'll be going into some charts before we log off today as well. So. Cool. And also on for our last reading of the day, I don't believe we have anything else after this one. We just had 5 short ones that I thought were very, very important. So Chinese banks looking to use digital yuan in funds and insurance sector. So we know our good buddy China, and we know a lot of the issues they've had and all the say-sos and articles and statements and meetings. I don't like covering them, but they're a very, very important role in this space, and they have been for quite a while, especially in the terms of the digital yuan, which is equivalent to every other country's digital dollar or whatever currency that they're going to be using if they want to be implement that into their society. But how this is going to be utilized in insurance firms, I believe would be the same way that we have talked about over the time of smart contract usage. So we know that why China doesn't like Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, that can, basically rival their digital yuan. They want their digital yuan to be the only one, the best one, and the almighty. That's really what it comes down to. And the CBBC said that it has 28.5 million digital yuan transactions worth about 2.9 billion go through its system since pilot began. So that's a good amount of money. If you guys remember, I don't know if that was 2 months ago, but we had talked about the airdrop that the Chinese government had done for their citizens. So I believe they airdropped about $200 digital yuan to each citizen that signed up and did whatever checklist he needed to do just to test it out. And China's been doing this for a while. They've had the QR codes and the digital payments for a long time. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever been to China or like watching documentaries on China, but I've been to China when I was very, very young. But I do remember it slightly. I was about 12, so I remember the QR codes. I remember the masks have been there for a while. Shanghai is by no any means a healthy place to be or live. Lots of pollution and other things. They've been really on the narrative switch for a while, and there's a lot of back door behind the scenes that gets done just because of China's reputation and what they kind of stand on for democracy and all that stuff. I don't need to explain that type of stuff. There's a lot of things that they cut out and can say you can and can't do, and it really is it's really back and forth fight between government and people. So how this is going to be utilized in the insurance section, just like we talked about in the utilization of smart contracts, how the smart contracts attack the insurance sector. We've talked about Chainlink oracles, live data feed pulling, and so on. And really, what we're seeing here is really just the overtake of paper. Really what we're saying. I'm not saying that this is going to be a 1 year thing, a 2 year thing, but look what we saw in the past year, just from March to now. It's pretty nuts. So if you really want to have a safe standpoint, and this is just coming from me, I said this to friends and family for a while, that I believe we will be, you'll still have the option to do cash, but I believe mainly digital dollars, yuan, USDC, whatever it may be, the utilization of that is going to be overwhelmingly, it's going to engulf the paper dollar by I'd say give it 5 years, really, for the firm and the enterprises to really get a firm grip on what they're doing and how to implement this. They got teams building. We see enterprises all the time, what they're building. They have teams, they have cryptocurrency teams coming in, they're hiring like crazy. Blockchain developers are so in demand. That's why we continue to do these live streams and those free coding live streams. So if that's something that you guys want to hop in and something that you guys want to learn to do, you guys can do it. So it's really just a layout at this point. So we'll continue to pay attention to this, and this is something that we definitely cannot ignore at all, especially in the United States. 51% of China's students, college people, students who go into college and also graduate are STEM majors. So science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. 51%. That's pretty nuts. I'm not sure what the U.S. is, but I can tell you it's probably not close to nearly 51%. So just kind of want to lay it out there, and that is it for our last reading. So let us go into the charts, the fun part. Also, let me get the BTC chart pulled up because I did not do that before we got started. So let's double check and make sure this is the right one. I think we all just kind of went on Coinbase. I'm not sure if, let's see. I don't know if I did. Did I do FTX? I think I did FEMX. Yeah, we did. Okay, we did do FEMX. Awesome. Cool. Let's do, we can leave those up for now. No worries. Awesome. Let's do the Ethereum chart first. So same chart we've had for quite a while. I don't know how long we've had this chart up. It doesn't change, because we're just keeping our levels. So until we get level 4, and then we will redo the chart when we get to level 4 and reevaluate. But we are looking good. We are looking really good. If you've been paying attention to price action, I don't say be glued to your computer, but nothing wrong with checking here and there every 2 days, 3 days, whatever you need to do. I know you guys are busy and have stuff to do, but some of you guys work from home like I do, so it's a lot easier to just pull up a web page and look at price action. So we're looking good. We've been in consolidation phase for about 20 days. We were bouncing about 3,200, bouncing around to about 3,100 to 200 for about 24 days, for about a month, and we've known this periodically. This has been something that isn't new. If you see back even just from March 13th to March 28th, we had the same thing, about 15 days. These are daily candle wicks, by the way, guys. We're also going from January 19th to about January 31st, we had the same thing. That was only about 12 days before we had our next rally up. So you can see it's very common for ETH to have those little consolidation type deal. So what we're seeing now, I mean, we're at 3,407. We know that 3,500 is a big level, and our next biggest one is our previous floor level of level 4. So I'd say about 3,650. So if this is something to pay attention to, I'd say if we do break 3,500 and we retrace just a little bit and we get confirmation that 3,100 is some okay support, medium in a term, then we could see 3,600 plus very quickly. And you guys know how fast Ethereum rips. This right here was an absolute rip session, and we can even just do the coil on this and see what this was like. And this was not too long ago either. This was a 79% move in about let's see about how many days. So I don't want to. About 18 days, 72%, 18 days. That's ridiculous. So, let's pay attention. Things can get heated up very quickly. Just keep emotions in check. It's always the most important thing to do, and just always have a plan, stick to the plan, and it's great to see these markets do what they haven't been doing for quite a while. We haven't had this high of 3,400 since. Last time we were this high, we were in May time. So been the whole summer without much going on, and we've had downward action since then. So awesome, really great to see. Let's see how this plays out, guys. Also, let's go over to BTC. Look over to our futures contracts. That's what we're on. Just for quick reference, we'll just stay on the futures contract because it's pretty equivalent. So same thing, exact same chart that we have laying up. Bitcoin is at levels 50K. We've been messing around with 50K for a little while here. Touch that, kind of breaking that top layer of resistance here. Last time we were at 50K, we were about May time, so May 13th was the last time we were at 50K, or pretty much above it. We're not even above it anymore. That was the last time we were here, and we have seen consolidation and downwards action for about, let's see how long we've been in this. Let's see, downward action, 67 days. So long time, about 2 months, about 2.5 months. So it didn't seem like that long. I mean, this was some great reaccumulation time right here. Amazing buying opportunities if you continue to DCA. So congratulations to you. But also with Bitcoin, 50K we know is a hard level for us. We break 50K, we're going to move up very quickly once 50K does break, and once this is really established as a somewhat hard support. Once we do flip that, once we break this resistance and flip this level 3 into support. As we didn't have much time back here, as you can tell, at all in terms for us to get a hard foundation. Things will get very heated very quickly, and not to mention NFT mania like we've had also, as you can tell in the thumbnail. NFTs, OpenSea has done absolute crazy volume, and it's been absolutely absurd. Let's do that. Let's actually look at that before we do clock off. Let's go ultrasound money and see. Sorry, not ultrasound. My gosh, I'm not pregnant. Let's make sure we don't have any chats. Awesome. Okay, let's see how much OpenSea did just break $1 billion in overall revenue recently, and I believe they're closer to. They got to be like it's ridiculous, guys. It's crazy. I'm personally not buying any NFTs right now, man. It's like crazy, man. OpenSea's done 24 hours. They burned out 1,960,000 ETH. That's unreal. Let's see. I just want to see 23,657 ETH. Wow, that's crazy. That really is nuts, guys. You got blocks over here that are 1 ETH, 3. Wow, that's man, oh man. We can here. Let me put this in a link for you guys if this is something you guys want to watch and see what's going on. So, but other than that, guys, we're wrapped up for the day. That's all I had. Quick little under 30-minute stream. They're actually about to be under 25. Share this with friends or family. Anyone you think that would benefit from this information. Like and subscribe. Comments, criticism, anything, of course, is accepted. Thank you guys so much for chiming in today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Of course, pay attention for our, another chapter of learning Solidity. We're going to get that out this week. We did have a hiccup 2 weeks ago, but we had made up for it last week, so we should be back on track. I believe we're at chapter 6 now. So thank you guys for all the reviews and constructive criticism from that as well. I appreciate you guys reaching out. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys on Thursday.